What if most of the choices you think are yours are not really yours at all? What if some of your decisions are quietly shaped by people who never raise their voice, never force you, never threaten you, yet still get exactly what they want? Think about that. How many times have you said yes when you wanted to say no? How many times have you doubted yourself after a single comment? Control does not always look aggressive. Sometimes it looks polite. Sometimes it looks caring. And that is what makes it dangerous. These mind games matter because they happen every day. At work, in friendships, in relationships, online. People influence how you feel, what you choose, and how you see yourself. Not always with bad intentions, but the result is the same. You slowly give up your power. You start second-guessing your instincts. You adjust your behavior to keep peace. And over time, you stop trusting your own judgment. If you do not understand these subtle games, you will keep losing without knowing why. Welcome to ClarityGrit, where we break down the psychology of growth, confidence, and self-respect. The first subtle mind game is guilt as control. This one is very common. Instead of asking directly, people make you feel bad for not doing what they want. They say things like, "After everything I have done for you," or "I guess I just care more than you do." Notice what is happening. They are not explaining the need. They are pressuring your emotions. You start thinking you owe them. You feel selfish for having boundaries. So you give in, not because you want to, but because you want the guilt to stop. Over time, this trains you to ignore your own needs to protect other people's feelings. That is not kindness. That is conditioning. The second mind game is creating doubt in your perception. This is when someone subtly questions your memory, your feelings, or your interpretation. You say, "That hurt me," and they reply, "You are too sensitive," or "That never happened like that." Slowly, you stop trusting your own experience. You start asking yourself, "Am I overreacting? Or maybe I am the problem." This is powerful because once you doubt your perception, you become easier to control. You look to them for clarity instead of trusting yourself. Emotional strength comes from believing your own inner signals. When someone constantly makes you question them, that is not honesty. That is manipulation. The third mind game is urgency and pressure. This one rushes your decisions. People say, "Decide now," or "This is your only chance," or "If you don't act, you will miss out." Pressure shuts down thinking. When you feel rushed, you stop evaluating. You stop listening to your instincts. You choose relief over clarity. Think about sales tactics, emotional arguments, or even relationship conflicts. The faster someone pushes you, the less space you have to choose freely. Calm decisions threaten control. That is why pressure is used. When you slow down, you regain power. Another common game is praise with strings attached. At first, it feels good. Someone compliments you. They make you feel seen, valued, important. Then slowly, the praise becomes conditional. You are appreciated when you agree, when you comply, when you behave the way they like. The moment you push back, the warmth disappears. This trains you to chase approval. You adjust yourself to stay in their good books. This is subtle because it feels positive at the start. But real respect does not disappear when you disagree. Real support does not punish you for having a spine. The next mind game is fear of conflict. Some people do not argue. They withdraw. They go quiet. They act cold. They make tension unbearable. You learn that expressing your needs leads to emotional distance. So you stay silent. You choose peace over honesty. This is not harmony. This is control through discomfort. You start managing their moods instead of expressing yourself. And the more you do that, the smaller you feel. Your choices shrink. Your voice fades. Now here is the important part. These mind games only work when you are disconnected from yourself. When you doubt your worth. When you fear being disliked. When you avoid discomfort at all costs. Awareness is the first defense. Once you see the pattern, it loses strength. You stop reacting automatically. You pause. You ask yourself simple questions. Do I actually want this? Am I choosing from clarity or pressure? What happens if I say no? That pause is power. Another key is emotional boundaries. You are allowed to disappoint people. You are allowed to take time. You are allowed to change your mind. Manipulation relies on your fear of reaction. When you accept that discomfort is survivable, control breaks. You do not need to explain everything. You do not need to argue. Calm repetition is enough. "I am not comfortable with that. I need time to think. This does not work for me." Simple, fun, respectful. You also need to rebuild trust with yourself. Every time you ignore your intuition, it gets quieter. Every time you honor it, it gets stronger. Start small. Notice how your body reacts to pressure, tightness, hesitation, unease. Those are signals. They are not weaknesses. They are information. The more you listen, the harder it becomes for anyone to control your choices. Here is the truth most people avoid. Control does not always come from bad people. Sometimes it comes from insecure people. Sometimes from people afraid of losing you. But intention does not cancel impact. You can understand someone and still protect yourself. Strength is not aggression. Strength is clarity. Here is your takeaway. The more aware you are, the less controllable you become. Guilt loses its grip. Pressure loses its urgency. Doubt loses its power. When you trust yourself, manipulation has nowhere to land. You stop living to manage reactions. You start choosing from self-respect. And that changes everything. Now reflect on this. Where in your life do you feel pressured, guilty, or unsure around certain people? And what would change if you trusted your instincts instead? Write your thoughts in the comments. If this helped you, like the video and subscribe. This is Clarity Grit. Stay strong, stay clear, and keep growing.